back to week 4 of DevCamp, where we will continue to explore the wonderful world of JavaScript. This is video 4.4, where we will learn how to customize our website with JavaScript using selectors. Remember that pesky DOM? Well, in order to best explain customizing with JavaScript, let's take a moment to review how it works. Recall that the DOM interprets each element as a different object. So, the DOM sees everything from the document to the body to the images as a unique object. Because of this, objects are able to have different properties assigned to them. This is essentially what is happening with CSS. CSS allows us to manipulate different style properties for different objects, like their position and color. JavaScript allows us to take this a step further. We can now assign style properties with CSS, and then use JavaScript to change them based on a user's interaction with the elements. There's a lot of other ways we can use objects to customize our website that go beyond stylizing. For these modules, we are only going to focus on using the objects to manipulate our website's stylized appearance. Let's take a look at how we can do this. First, let's take a moment to read the colorful notation on the screen. What do you notice? Well, I first noticed all of the periods on the left-hand side of the equal sign. The periods tell us where we are going through the DOM tree. We start with the document object, then we go to the body object, and finally the style object. I've colored the object part of the text green. Then, within the style object, we have different properties we can access. One of these is the background property, which allows us to change the background of our document. I've colored the property part of the text orange. Finally, we set this statement equal to the value we want this property to be. In this case, one of the attributes we can change is the background color of the body of the document. Before we add code to our site, we need to choose what color we want our new background to be. We are going to be choosing the color for our first function, so make sure the color you pick is similar to the name of your function. To find colors, I like to use the Adobe Color Picker. To get there, open up a new tab and go to www.color.adobe.com. Go ahead and take a moment to explore the site on your own and pick out some colors that you like. You can pause here until you've picked the color you want to use as your new background. Awesome! Now that you've picked your color, let's add this code to your first function. Notice how I put the code inside of the two curly braces. Putting the code inside the curly braces tells my function that this statement belongs to it. Remember, computers are super literal. If I don't use the two curly braces, or if I put my code outside of it, my function won't know what to do when the function is called. Now, try clicking the button for the function you just updated. For example, I just changed the Chinese function, so now I'm going to click the Chinese button. The body of your document should now be a different color. Pretty cool, huh? There are lots of other properties we can use to modify the style of our site. Notice how the object pathway stays the same when modifying the entire body of the document. We just need to change the property and value for it. We are only going to talk about the body property in these modules, but you can explore more ways to change specific parts of your website at w3schools.com. You can play around with other properties in your functions, or you can use the same as me. Pause here and take as much time as you need to customize your site using these different style properties. When you are done, test your buttons to make sure they work properly. Is something not working properly? Before you start ripping your hair out or slamming your computer against the desk, let's walk through debugging with our console. Right now my page isn't working properly. When I click my buttons, nothing happens. I can't seem to find my error, so I'm going to use my console to help me debug. To do this, make sure you've clicked Show next to Code in the top of your screen. Then, right-click over your website preview and click Inspect. Finally, click Console in the upper menu bar. Don't worry about the first yellow error. This is from the actual glitch site. Look at the second error on my screen. It says, Unexpected end of input, and on the right, it tells me what line in my code is throwing that error. So I'm going to go check that line in my code. Look, I forgot to add an ending-closing bracket after my last function. When I add a bracket, my code works. Sometimes the console may have more errors. Before you panic, remember that sometimes multiple errors can be from the same mistake in your code. Also, sometimes the errors may not be super clear. Regardless, the console can still help you narrow down where the error is occurring. Just take a deep breath and try working through your errors one by one. Great job! Now that we've added some interactivity to our buttons, head on to video 4.5 where we will learn how to use variables.